welcome to my YouTube channel, Base Patrick Kwame PK, as the name of my YouTube channel, and also that's my name too. So quickly in this video, I'll be explaining to you how loops normally works in all programming languages. So we'll be diving on into some of the programming languages. So in this video, although I'll be using loops, the understanding across all the programming languages. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to understand how loops really works, some of the advanced built-in for loop and other stuff that JavaScript have introduced in their current versions of JavaScript engine, which runs in other systems, especially in Chrome. So first of all, I would like you to check the docs. You can go to the Mozilla Docs network to check the new advanced versions of JavaScript engine, which is the ES6. I think right now you have the ES7 or something. So you can check all those docs and then be able to know how you can use the current versions of JavaScript. So yeah, let's quickly dive onto this video. So stay tuned. Thank you. So I have my array here in my terminal that I'll be using to explain how array really works in how array, we are able to loop through an array, loop through dictionary, which in JavaScript you might call it objects. I'll be showing you how some of the booleans you'll be able to check if it's valid. Really, we have this thing in there or we don't have this thing in there. It's able to print onto our console true or false. So this is our normal array. This is a list, like we say in other languages, or Python or other thing, but here we call it what array. So I have my constant array here, which I don't want it to change. You can either use the other data types like let, which also I think also works really well. I can use what let, or I can use my cont, which is what means constant. So we have this list here, and I want to look through. Just like I said, loop means we want to map through something, and then just like I said, we'll be using map also to loop, make sure which return a callback function, which is map, which also return a callback function. And then in other languages, map also is a function which takes an argument. I think it's an optional too, but here in JavaScript, it takes in a callback function. So first of all, let me explain to you how the array, the for loop, first of all, how the array loop using for loop really works. So on our normal basis, we know that we want to look through an array either in Java or JavaScript. So we use this thing, we use var, or we can use let, just like I said, and we use any variable name. So I chose to use item, and then I assign my item to 0, and I bring my kernel, and then with the item that I set, I want the item which now stand for what I want it to check my array here to see that if look through everything here and then give me the feedback onto my console. How do we do that? We do that by calling our item first, and then we set our item, because we don't know the amount of data that contains in our list, which is our array. We don't know the actual amount, so we want that list to check the length of the amount. So by checking it, we actually don't know whether it is less or more. So let's imagine say it's more, it's really huge, and about 1 million. So we say the less than what? The name of the array, that the name of the container contain our list or the array. We say what? That is the name. And then this thing has also a built-in method which also takes what? Length, because we want to check the length like this, and then we want to do an increment. Just like I said, array means of doing something. We assign it to do something unless we tell it to what? To stop. So we do what? Item, and then we do what plus plus. This is what we do it in our normal what. So there's like normal, so then we do our console.log. We do what like this. Sorry, we do this. Passing our item, then we run it in our terminal. Oops, nothing really happens. So let's really check. I think we misspell. Okay, save it again. Let's run it. Here we are. We have all the list in what which contain now array. We have it what. So this is an old school way. Just like I said, this video is on advanced with JavaScript. I want to give you a full insight of what is happening in our ECMAS modern version. So this is an old school. This is an old type that we normally know in C++, in Java, in the JavaScript earlier. But here, then now we have the advanced was modern version where we can use this thing. You can use it to write simple codes, simple and understanding, consistently, and efficient way that we do it. So we have something we call what a for, the same thing that we know. But here, let's assign our constant and let's give it what a e, and we normally call it an off for loop. So instead of here, we assign e into a 0, and then we continue with the length. We use the for. We use the off, then the name of the array like this. And then this also, as it's a function, takes in what our console does log like this, and then we print what e. We save. So let's comment this thing out. And let's save it again. And let's run it in our terminal. We could see we have the same thing what printed here onto our console. So another way we can also do this. We can also use the modern way of looping through our list on an array. It's what for each, which is very simpler. So we use the name of an array, then we say dot for each, a capital letter, and then we say, and then this takes in a callback functions. This takes in a callback function. Callback function is what a function that we call it later. Yeah, so let's say item, the name of the function is what item, and then we pass in our callback function, and we do it a console.log, and then we pass in the callback functions here like this. We save it, and then we run it. First, let's comment the above. Alright, so let's save it and run it. We could see here again too, we have the same thing here. So that means what our foreach, and then this for, which the for it takes the callback, and which the for here uses what off method to take or to give us loop to an array instead of using this a whole. Although it's a simple way, but oftentimes we want to write program very simple, effective, and it's a quick way to go. So these are some of the easy methods that we can use. Earlier we'll be using or be tackling how we can use, let's say, a map method like this. A map method, which also a map method also takes in a callback functions like this. Then we do what console.log, and we print what our function here. So let's comment this thing, and then let's save it again. I just wanted to show you something. We see here a map also what taking a callback functions, a simple and easy way. So we are telling map, and we are using this v as a callback function in the place of what the length, our array name, variable name, which is what a double r. So another way, let's check another way we can also use this thing is what, since a console is a function on its own, you can just do something like this. Say something like this, and let's try it and see if it really works. Here we are. So a console, an easy way of what a function So now we don't pass in our callback functions again, but we are able to print out our loop to an array or our list. And first of all, check something here. We see pizza. This has able to assign the index. Meaning what? Pizza map has been able, because map means what? Mapping to, looping to what? Everything and returning our callback onto us. So a pizza which has assigned index of 0. So now we know that our pizza is 0, our sandwich is 1, our ice cream is 2, farm milk is what? 3, and our cocoa is what? 4. A simple and a quick way for us to dive on. So yeah, this is really getting what excited. Make sure you hit on the comment section, you like and subscribe, and you share this video, tell your friends about this channel. More content and more videos and more tutorials I've been uploading every day. So let's quickly dive on onto another session where we'll be using an object, and other programming languages like Python. We will see what this now. So here I have my objects here, like I said in the previous video, like a dictionary in a Python. The only difference is there's an object. Yeah, there's not, our key is not a string. Yeah, it's just a normal variable. So we have this thing here. How do we look through an object in a JavaScript or Node.js? So someone will say, oh, okay, in the previous video I did something like this. Let's item, and I use the off key. So I use the off key and I pass in the name of the the array. So like this. And then this, we can do our console log here with what? The item. So let's check this thing out and see what really happens. So we call our node and then the name of our program like this. It says what? Object. It has pretended the same thing for us here, but here we don't want it in this way. Say we want to print only the values but without the keys. How do we do it? Okay, I think there's an error here before, so let me check my error, save and run it again. Okay, you see, for item of object, meaning what? This is a what? It's not an array, it's not a list, it's a different thing altogether. But we are trying to compile it, we are trying to force our compiler, we are trying to tell our V8 which node has been able to okay, since this is not a full tutorial, I don't want to go deep into the back end of node, but we are telling our compiler, we are telling our program that hey, this is not an object, but you want to use our array method to print it in. So let me teach you how we can go about this thing. So let's quickly dive on into it. So the first thing we do is we maintain the same code, but we change the key here. We change the name to a key. Okay, let's use the same item to avoid confusion, but instead of we use the in keyword. Instead of please listen, we use the in keyword, the same thing. And then for us to don't return the item straight here, we return the object here, then we say with our the index of what? The items itself here. We save it and let's run it and see. Here we are. So we now have our values here. We assign the item as a key, and we are telling that the program that in console log the whole of the object here with an index of only getting as the key. So we have the red, blue, and so on. Tomatoes is a color. So this is really getting interesting here. So let us dive on into another method which we can use the same program or the same code or the same thing we have here. So let me move everything here. Let me comment everything here. So Another thing we can also do is what? Without not using the in keyword, you can use something also like this, and you can say let's say this time let's use to avoid confusion. Let us use our item here, and then this time we are using the off key. But we are using the off key. Remember in the previous video I said something like when we use the off key and we are using the same object, see what's written. We have an arrow pointing, this arrow pointing to an object here means what? It's not a defined. So for us to solve this thing in your JavaScript in the programming language, we use something that's very interesting, which makes JavaScript very popular, very easy to use. We use something called object dot values. Object of what? Values. Very simple like this. Object of values, and now we say we do something like we console log something. Let's see. The console log our what? The name of our object here. The name of our object here. The name of our object here. So let's do something like the object. Then we pass in the key like this. Then we save it. Then let's run and see. Dot values, meaning we have an error here. So let's quickly check and see. So we say let off, we are passing what? So we need to pass in something because the values is a method. So we need to pass in something, our name, the variable name that we have here. We need to pass it. So passing our object here, we save it and we run it like this. Here we are. We have our program running here, the red, the blue. So now we are telling an array that hey, it's an object, but we want what? Only the values. Only the values. That's why we have the values here. And then we pass in the name of it here. And then here. Hope this is making an understanding to us. Okay. Alright, so here we are again. I want us another method from where we ended again. Another method that we'll be using again is something called what? Map. And here we need to change something here because we are using a constructor of our map, something like this. Let me code along. You understand this? I'm passing something like this. I do something like this. So we are using a constructor, a new constructor of what? Mapping. So here we don't just print our map like in the normal array. We just saw our map that you can just pass in the callback function. But here we use the object dot entries, something like this. It's very weird. But don't worry, you will get it. We use the entry, something there, and the entries is also a method with this in another parameter like this. So now we have our array changed into a constructor of map. So how do we create it? So with the same assuming with the same. So now we move the object values here, and then we use our object name here. We close it, and then we do our console. Our console dot log here. So we call it something like what? We do something like object dot, and now we don't use objects here. We don't use object, but we use the name of the variable name, which is what? Object, which is the variable name, which like this dot what? Values dot what? Values. Then it's also a method, so like something you have with it. So now our entries, we are telling the constructor that this is an entry of an object. So we don't actually repeat the object because we have already make our program to understand that here this is an object. So we are using the object of values in replace of the object of the entries. So we are down telling is object of entries is equal to our name of our array here dot what values. So we use something like this here, and then we pass in our objects here. Passing as we don't passing an object. So let me show us something here. Let console log and see. Oops. Is it map I created where this is. So as far as you can see, this didn't really solve our program. This didn't really solve our program. So how do we go about it? You might have noticed this earlier that I should have taken everything here, replace it with my object here like this. Replace it with my object here like this. Yeah. So now we don't use or we don't console log the actual method, but actually we set it in the for loop, and then we tell our console log to give us the item. As simple as that. As simple as that. So now let us save it and run it and see. Oops, haha, it's really getting interesting and getting fun. So now we have our program running. All right, our values have been printed onto our console. Very simple onto us. So let us now dive on and then go on onto another method. There's an interesting story that I'll be talking about. So see you in the next slide. Hello. So just like I said in the previous video, this is very interesting and it's getting very fun too. Another thing I want us to talk about here is really interesting here. It's something we really call it what list or what an array. We just say, just like I said, this we can see has a many or more than one name or one array here. So how do we do or how do we use JavaScript modern method like sum, like every, like filter, like strings, like other method to look through all these things. So let's quickly dive on to our video. So we can set our constant here. We give it a name that we like. We give it what? We give it faces. Then our faces. We set it. We say our p dot. So another one method we want to look is what filter. In the same how pattern work. So now we pass in our callback function here, or we set. Okay, actually filter is able to give us either true or something like going to filter that, hey, check my program that if this thing really exists. So let's actually set our filter into what? Red and see. So let me console my phases. So let me change to my program.js. Let me run and see. Okay, this actually have brought us back that we have two red in what? In our program. So it's able to filter, just like we know in Python languages that filter is able to what? To reduce something, actually to reduce, but filter is also able to look through passing look through your functions, return actually return back onto us the number or how many the thing exists really there until it plays out. Something like looks there. Hope you understand it's making clear. Okay, and then I don't want to comment this thing. So another thing we'll be talking about is what? Some of the built-in methods with what? Map. So this also have map like this. So just like I said in the previous video, map also return a callback functions. Map also return a callback function, and then also return a callback function. So let's map through this thing and get our green like this. So let's console dot log our eyes like this. Let's print and see. Oops. So map is saying what? False, false, true, false, and then false. So what map actually doing here is very what interesting here. So let's actually do something interesting here. So without our callback function, let's actually do something like this and set our callback straight onto our green and print. And let me explain something for you here. So map has able to give us what? Green. Map is saying green, like as in text. So map has been able to break our list down, count our list here, and then assign back the green onto what's that? Hey, I map to the list of green, and I realized that oh, green in this list having is really paired. Like I mean, when we check our green here, we have a green. We have our green here. So I'll take that green and look through as number of the length of the number of our list or our array here. I hope this really make it understandable, and as we go on, I'll be uploading other videos about map and other things. But in the misunderstanding or have any question, make sure you comment and I'll get right back to you with more details and more explanation. So another thing for us to do is I don't want to comment those things because we'll be using a lot. So another thing when you wanna use is what? So another method is what? P.sum, and then sum. We don't just print sum like this. This give us an undefined function, and this thing also has a callback function. So actually it's following a pattern if you are really following, because this is actually making us any method that we pass in the JavaScript really return a callback functions. So let us also return a callback functions here, and then let's say so and see if it really works. And let console log our node. Let's use nodes. I didn't notice. So node. Save it and run. It's saying what? True. So we have able to detect that hey, sum also what it does is return a boolean, like I said in the previous video about sum. It returns a boolean function using a callback functions. So this is really getting interesting. Another method I want us to also use is something very important. So let's name this variable a name like what? Leg or leg here, and then I want us to use a method called what? Every. So yes, this is also another method, and then like I said, you can notice that this also returns a call functions. We set it onto what? Let's say blue and console dot log leg, and let's see what it really give onto it give us false. Oh, meaning what? Meaning on every, this is making us understand that on every count, he does on every count. That he do that exist on every count. He said, well, no. So let's actually go back and use something like greater than. Yeah, I mean you can also check other greater than with some of the filter, the ice, and then the map as well, and see what will give you. But okay, to avoid time, let me say, and then run my code back here. It also returns what? A false. So it's also saying that hey, I looked through your code with a callback function that you're just calling me. I'm just looking through your code, and I've realized there is nothing on every count as what blue. So let's actually pass in what doesn't exist here, something like y. Let's see what we get. First, as you can see, I know you have the answer already. It's definitely false. So hope you understand what every does. So every let's like every count, on every count it does that. Hey, on every count do I found the silver, on every count do I get y, something like that. So another interesting thing that I want us to talk about, what variable name having to be used. So name, another thing, method we'll be using, and very popular and interesting method is what reduce, like I said in the previous videos. So what reduce really does is also what a method, but what this method does is very interesting. I love this method a lot. I love this method with map also as well. Above all the method, this is what I really love. What reduce does is what it takes in what parameters, and then parameters it takes first one, it takes the count and the occurrence. It takes first the counter and then the occurrence. So let's say counter like count, and then the occurrence to like okay, that means okay, something like that. And then we do just like on our way that we use our for, we console.log. But this time, let me actually, we haven't used a return keyword. So let me use return what? Count. So return what? Count. And then as we know count, it's what? That's increment. So it is our class. And then what? The occurrence of checking through our list or our array, the occurrence that we really have it there. Imagine red, how many red, blue, how many is there, green, how many is there, so on and what and so on. So what actually we can do, so we bring our k here and we set our k. Let's check what's having to be checked. Let's check tomatoes. Check tomatoes. And what actually okay, let me just console this thing and just see. So let me put it in a bracket. Oops, so where am I? Okay, let me just console.log, save it, and then run and see what I actually get. It says what? Oh, unexpected token. Okay, unexpected. Now start nil. Reduce counts p. Okay, so here we are. Let me see. Run it again. With the same things. Okay. Yes, I forgot. It's also returns a callback function. This getting fair. It also returns a callback function. So, just like I said, this also gives us a callback function. Why is our callback different like that? Okay, so this also gives us a callback function. So yeah, as normally as I said, all the method give us a callback function. Yeah, so this also returns a callback function. So let's see and run it and see what we get. Oh, another huge sorry, another huge fault. More malform arrow function parameter list. Leave it because callback function. Let me see. Run it again. This is really getting hard indeed. Wow. So let me do something. Okay. A callback function is supposed to be in a bracket. Oops, like this. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, so we now have it. So a callback function is supposed so like this. I can also put this thing in what, in brackets. That was where the making me confused. So by the way, we really get it. Yeah, so like this, we can also put it in the back. So a callback function. So now we see how we can set a callback function. A callback function. So let's save this and run and see. Nothing was console to one because this force is for the leg. The normal that we did is for the leg. So for us to see it clearly, then and then save it and run it again. Oh, nothing really what happened. So it's trying to tell us that the occurrence, we have said the occurrence of tomatoes, but what options do we have again? What condition do we have again? Yeah, the moment I'm sorry, the moment I mentioned condition, you know what I'm talking about. We can use our if and else statement, but we don't want a huge if and else statement, so we use something very simple and popular, like we can call in Python comprehensions. This thing we call it what, or in JavaScript or in Node we use the word ternary. So let's set our ternary, and setting my ternary, I'm saying if tomatoes really do that, give me 1 or count of what, 0. So let me save this thing and then print it on my console. Oops, again, nothing really is happening. What is the fault really coming from? So a very interesting thing for this might be a bit confusing here for the first time. Since I said this is really advanced, but I'm really taking my time for you to make it for me to make you understand things simple in advance or in advance. So our callback function in the reduce, what it really does is, as it takes in the two callback functions, we want to increment or count the number of tomatoes in our list or in our array. But how do we set the time? How do we set the end time? Like something we do a very simple something thing like console dot time. Sorry, console dot time. Console dot time. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Clock. Something like that. And I do console dot time. I'm not doing timeouts because I don't want to set it once. Okay, console dot time end. Console dot time end, and then I do something like done. So let me check something here and see. He said we're using no trace warning to show where the warning was created. Actually, no set label done for console end time. So actually, since we have a debug or we have an error in our code, this is not able to print. But on a normal basis, I want to show you how console the time really works. So we do this. I comment this thing, and then I save it and I run it again. Again, we get the same error. Actually, we don't have a very simple one. So let me actually get something from here. I just want to explain something to you, and then let me actually take it back here and then do this thing to save it and then run it. Here we are. So we could say that the warning no set label done for console. Okay, actually we didn't actually get the preferred time, but we are able to get our map to all of our green, all of the green on every count that every green exit. So another popular thing or another simple thing for us to get this our previous thing done is let's comment this thing. Let's get back to our call. So another thing for us to do here. So let me then so just like I said, I've set it on every time. So let me actually do and then you could also see something very rare, really, or simple here. I don't know if the word I mean you understand it. So we also see that we are seeing what a return inside our hut, but we assign it onto our hut, onto name. A very tricky question. So now, hope you can see that coming. But of course, if you were able to notice that, then that means you are really getting there into the advanced level. So we do the console dot log here, and then what do? We print our name. We print our name here. We print our name here as simple as that. So now let us try get it running. You said it was 0. So we don't have any. Oh, actually, tomato is what improve. So actually, we're able to get a counter of counter for 0. I don't know why it's giving away. So let me try to move back some of the code. See, to move back some of the code, save it, and run it again. Oh, I'm still getting 0. Amazing. So let me now comment my time. Maybe I'm just causing that. And that's 0. Oh, so that means it's not my time. Oh, let me also bring the also want to save it and run it back again. You see, oh, it's still giving us 0. It's still giving us 0. So that means our counter that we set on our callback functions on the kernel support tomatoes. On the kernel support tomatoes has, or it's not giving us the actual count of tomatoes. So it's just saying, well, hey, I just do a counter on the counter, and I found out that, hey, the tomato is what I'm giving you what is it, because we set a condition that if the occurrence what is being taking place, we assign it to tomatoes is true to the count of 1, or else what 0. So that means what on the basis we have what do we have we have 0. Let me do red and see, save it, run it again. We are getting a 0 to 4, where it's actually getting interesting. Okay, so like I said, this really actually return it, we passing it to callback function, and then we set it onto our. So another thing I want us to try, because this really supposed to give us something nice. I actually don't know. This is really supposed to give us something. Let me say so. Okay, let's close it. Let me close it again and see. Let me run and see. Oh, we have an error here. So let me just try counting my bracket. This is really scary because we need to get a counter working. So I've opened 1, 2, 3, 4 brackets. So I need to close. Close another bracket, Okay, I think that will be all. So let me set it down. One window set time for console. Okay, that's for the time. So let me just remove it, save it, and run it back. Okay, so actually we have a red of what? Yes, of red. Oh, actually, it's getting fun. We have been able to at least get a counter here, but I don't know. A red is giving us a very 1 million, like 1 million each. This is really huge. Let me also check my bracket here. This one is closed. Okay, 1 is open, 2 is open, 3 is open. So 1. So this is this is that, and this is that. Okay, so That was all. So we're able to get a millions of thread. This is actually getting fun. So another method that I want us to get normally we know is what is sorted. So another method is sorted. So we can just do something like sorted is equal to we use p dot what sort, we use p dot sort, and this one to sort like this. You could see you have to then echo over fast. So we said something like x y, then I'll call over 5 and so what do we do? What do we set? We console log what? Console log, let's first console log I was sorted and see what we did. Sorted. I think there's a mistake here. Sorted p dot sort console dot log everything now sorted here. This really getting inside. So that means the callback function. This has a different callback function like this. So let's do something. Print it and see. Oh, S. Sorry, S. Okay. To close brackets. Be mindful of that. Let's print and see. Another x sm1. Okay, so this actually didn't give us anything because we need to bring our callback function, which I'm sorry we did not bring it. So our callback function like this. And then how do we set our callback function? Just like I said in the previous of the every, that's how they sorted one. So we want to sort it in order. So we want to sort it from in alphabetical order. So we say something like, so S, let's just use the less than, or let's use the greater than the Y. Yes, let's see what we really get from here. Okay, so just like you see red, blue, green. So these have sorted everything in order. Wow, this is getting used to it. Hope everything I've talked about here is really makes sense and really understand it very well. And then let me know in my comment section if anything is really baffling your mind or you're just facing with this anything. But I'll encourage you to code along with me, and then in programming, the more you code is the more perfect you become. For me, I'm still learning, so let us all try to code along. Let us all try to. And if you don't understand anything, Google is there. You just checking the Mozilla document network. You get everything about programming. They'll give you how you can use WK school. They are also there. They will give you all the basic understanding for a beginner, for intermediate or advanced, and you got you to check on the what more advanced Stack Overflow, Mozilla developer network that like I say, they'll give you all the basic understanding. And then before I go, another interesting thing I would like to talk about is the sorted or splice. Imagine say I want to get a normal specific, I want to get a 2. Yeah. So I can now do console that I don't want to leave this for you to say, oh, it's too much, I won't understand. So yeah, console.log we do a sorted, and then let's see what we get. It gives us what? The 2, 1, 2. So let's check on our, let's say 4, save and see. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like we have all the 4 here. And remember, this thing doesn't sort it out. It just counts from the index to the end. So guys, I want us to bring this to one end with an advance. I hope you cover a lot. I don't want to add plenty for you to bother your mind. I hope this thing I've talked about it really makes sense. And then if you don't understand anything really well, guys, I'm really here for you. Just hit on the comment section and I'll get right back onto you. And before I go, please like and subscribe to this channel. I know God will really bless you. Stay tuned, code more and learn more and research more. See you in my next video. Signing out. Bye bye.